going on, everybody? I am back with another Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle. This time it is battle that I had against TheFlawlessWin. He asked me for a battle. I asked him if he wanted to bring some UU type things. He kind of has some OU type things, but they're not hoary OU type things. So whatever, I'm fine with it. Gonna lead off with my Mienshao as he ends up leading off the Savelie. I decided to lead off with Mienshao because I figured, you know, it's a pretty decent matchup against most of the things he'll want to lead off with. But since he leads off with Savelie, I do not want my Mienshao burned, so I'm going to go into my Rotom. Expecting the Will-O-Wisp, he just goes for the foul play just to get some damage off, which is fine. Gonna go for an overheat because I figured that he will want to go into something, or one of his electric type resists, because pretty sure he won't expect me to want to go for an overheat early on. But he ends up going into his Rotom because Rotom takes on Rotom. Then he's just going to go right into Mamoswine. Just going to stay and go for another overheat, just, I don't know. Because maybe his Rotom wants to go for like a trick or something, predicting me want to switch out, try to cripple something else. But he ends up going to his Mamoswine on the overheat. I managed to pull a crit, which really matters because now he's going to have to play around with his Mamoswine. If he wants to keep it, he's going to want to switch out, and he does do that, so I'm going to expect him to want to go into Barbaracle, knowing that my Rotom is at -4 special attack now, so he can get a free Shell Smash off and go into my Mienshao, knowing that Mienshao can pretty much force his Barbaracle off, can go for the knockoff just to get some really good damage off on the Savelie switch in and get rid of his leftovers, because that will just limit Savelie's ability to stay alive. So gonna go into my Amoonguss as he ends up recovering all that damage. Gonna go for a Giga Drain, knowing that the taunt is super obvious because he doesn't want his Savelie asleep. So go for the Giga Drain, and just based off the damage, comparing the knockoff with the Giga Drain, I'm gonna say the Savelie is especially defensive. So I'm gonna either have to have my Zygarde or my Mienshao with knockoffs, or maybe, yeah, I'm probably gonna have to use my Zygarde to deal this thing, or try to cripple this thing. But he ends up going for a taunt on my Rotom, so I'm not going to trick on my Choice Scarf. So I went for the overheat on that instead. Gonna go into my Empoleon. I keep on forgetting this thing's name for some weird reason. Expecting maybe he'll want to go into Barbaracle, because I keep on switching out Rotom, expecting him to go into Barbaracle, just to get a free Shell Smash off and just do things from there. But this is the part of the battle where I run into the roadblock of his team, being his Chestnot. Now, I have a couple problems with this Chestnot. One being that the best thing on my team to wall Chestnot being my Amoonguss, even though my Amoonguss can just stand and tank hits from this Chestnot all day, every day, I can't do anything to him because my only move to hit him with is Sludge Bomb. But Chestnot has Bulletproof, and Bulletproof means that he's immune to Sludge Bomb. So my Amoonguss can't do anything to him, and he can just set up spikes all over my face and just switch out, go into his Rotom, and then just scare me off with an overheat. Now my second problem with this Chestnot is my only other Pokemon on the team that can deal with this Chestnot reliably is my Rotom. But I didn't use any PP maxes on my overheats, so I think at this point I have 2 overheats left. So I need to catch this Chestnot on a switch in with an overheat. So it also doesn't help that I've been using my overheats kind of recklessly. I haven't been conserving my overheats, which I probably should have done. But I didn't want his Mamoswine to get a switch into my switch into my Rotom and switch in or get a free switch in as I go for a Thunderbolt or a Volt switch, because if he does that, I don't have my rocks up yet, so that means the Mamoswine will still be alive when it switches in. And if he switches in on a Volt switch or a Thunderbolt, that means I have to switch out with Rotom, and that also means that he gets his rocks up, which is annoying, and that means my Rotom's switch-ins are limited. So I don't want to have that happen, which is why I'm going for overheats kind of recklessly. So I'm gonna have to try my best to try to catch the Chestnot on a switch in with overheat, because that's gonna be my only way to get over his Chestnot. Now, the second part of this roadblock is this freaking Savelie. He has a really annoying defensive core thing going on between Savelie and Chestnot, which I really can't do much to his Savelie because Savelie is especially defensive. I need a physical attacker to take him out, but he has the priority Will-O-Wisp, so he could burn my physical attackers. So you can see my roadblock here, and it's just this whole defensive core that he has going on is going to be like my biggest problem throughout this battle. But fortunate enough, I do manage to get my stealth rocks up on the Savelie as he just kills off my Empoleon with a hammer arm. That's fine, just because my Empoleon, it really wasn't going to be doing a whole lot. Well, I probably could have used it for his Alakazam, but I do have my Medicham with the Fake Out, Bullet Punch, Combo, Wombo going on there. And I also have Choice Scarf for Rotom. And a Thunderbolt from a Choice Scarf Timid Rotom will do about 50 to 60% to his Alakazam. So Alakazam, I feel like I have in check enough. And it's just getting over this annoying wall core between Chestnot and his Savelie. So right here, I go for, no, he goes for the stick or spiky shield, and this is the battle where I learned that spiky shield works like protect and not like King's shield. So that means status moves do get blocked by spiky shield, so that means he's going to be able to get a free switch into his Alakazam and get a free opportunity to go Mega. And now that he's Mega, I kind of have to let something die, which is something that's really bad for me because I don't have any safe switches into Alakazam now that my Empoleon's dead. So Mienshao Die is going to go into my Medicham because a Fake Out Bullet Punch combination will do a lot of damage to his Alakazam. I'm pretty sure like a Bullet Punch alone is like 40% damage, and a Fake Out will do like another 20% maybe. So he ends up going into his Mamoswine on a Fake Out just to let that thing die. So Mamoswine's dead. So, well, no, he was dead as soon as I set up my Stealth Rocks. In comes the Alakazam now, and once again, I have no safe switch-ins, so I'm going to have to just go for a Bullet Punch, get as much damage off on this thing. I get, like I said, a good 60% damage on this Alakazam, which is great. So now I know when I bring in my Rotom, I can just kill this thing off the Thunderbolt. And right here, he miscounted my overheats because he knows that I didn't use any PP ups on my Rotom. He miscounts my overheats. He thinks that I used up all my overheats. So now I'm going to go for said overheat. Managed to take out the Chestnut on the switch in. So that is one part of this defensive, annoying defensive roadblock. I'm not even going to call it a core. I'm just going to call it a roadblock. So I am just, the path is really smoothing out for me now that the Chestnut is dead, because that just means I can do a whole lot more. In comes the Barbaracle. I know he's going to want to set up a Shell Smash because he kind of needs his Barbaracle to be at extra speed so he can outspeed my Rotom, kill me off with a Razor Shell. I'm pretty sure Barbaracle doesn't get Waterfall, which sucks. But get the Shell Smash off. I know for a fact I'm fully physically defensive Amoonguss. A Stone Edge will not take me out. So knowing that, I feel safe as long as he doesn't get the crit, and he doesn't. So Giga Drain will be able to just take out this Barbaracle. And I believe he has his Alakazam, his Rotom, and his Savelie left. All I have left is my Amoonguss and my Rotom. So hopefully things will work out for me. Now, right here, I want to say this might have been a misplay for him. He's gonna take me out with the Psychic. He traces my Regenerator. The fact that he traces Regenerator right here, now I feel like if he maybe played around better, he could have come out on top with his Alakazam, because Rotom, like I said before, I ran calcs and everything because when I watched through this for the first time, so I know what to talk about, I noticed that he traced a Regenerator. So if he would have switched out on the Rotom and gone into his own Rotom for Death Fodder and brought his Alakazam back in, I think, just depending on how much HP he was at exactly, I honestly don't know, he might have been able to live a Thunderbolt and cleaned up the rest of my team. Or, well, I only had Rotom left. He could have just gone for a Psychic, killed me off, but instead he just left his Alakazam in to die. I managed to win the speed tie between his Rotom and my Rotom. I did get a crit on his Rotom, which it did matter, the crit, but he would have had to win 2 more speed ties in a row in order to beat my Rotom. And fortunate enough, I win the speed tie and take out his Rotom. Savelie comes in. Savelie really can't do much to Rotom, so if he went for a Foul Play, Thunderbolt was a 2-hit KO. Foul Play, I think it was a... Foul Play was also a 2-hit KO, but I'm faster than him, so I'll win that. Either way, that was a good game, so hopefully you all did enjoy this game. If you did, feel free to leave a like or feel free to leave comments down below. Do not forget to show the like button some love. And if you're not subscribed already and wish to see more content in the near future, then feel free to click that subscribe button down below. So, with all this being said, thanks for watching and peace.